y'all, it's Jordan here with Misfit Studio. We are coming at you with a slow flow class. I have the lovely Karen here who will also be following along with the class. Feel free to follow me or to follow her. We will be using some props today. I know that not everyone may have these props at home, so if you don't have blocks at your house, you can use books or really any sturdy rectangular object. We'll also be using a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or a rolled up towel or a blanket. So with all that being said, we will go ahead and get started laying down on our backs. So first, just getting comfortable on your mat with your legs out long and try to scoop your tailbone under so that your low back is making contact with the ground. Hands can be out by your sides, or you can bring one hand to your belly and the other to your heart. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. And open your mouth and sigh out. And then you'll do that again. Deep inhale. Open mouth, exhale. One more time, big breath in. And open mouth, sigh out. Then you're going to start to cultivate an ujjayi breath, so breathing in through your nose, out through your nose with a slight constriction in the back of your throat. It's going to sound a little bit like ocean waves. This is an audible breath, so don't be afraid to let your breath be heard. Go ahead and hug your right knee in towards your chest. Begin to rotate your ankle, wiggle your toes. Get out any pops and cracks you've got going on. It's totally normal. You'll rotate that ankle in the other direction. And then from here, you're going to take your strap, or whatever you're using as a strap. You're going to wrap it around the ball mound of your right foot. So you've got one in each hand. You can straighten your leg all the way here, or you can keep a slight bend in the knee. We're just going to start to pull that foot back towards your face. Throughout this practice, you want to feel stretching, but you do not want to ever feel pain. So finding that spot where you feel just a little resistance, not pain. If at any point I tell you to do something that doesn't feel good in your body, you can always skip over a pose. So hanging out here for a few deep breaths, maybe you start to pull that foot back a little bit further. You're going to take both sides of your strap into that right hand, placing your left hand on your hip as a little reminder to keep that left hip grounded as you begin to let your right foot fall open to the side of the room. And you'll slowly bring that foot back to center. Grabbing your strap with your left hand, you're going to begin to cross that foot over your body. Try to keep the shoulders pressed down towards the mat. So really twisting through the spine. If it feels comfortable, you can send your gaze over to the right. Slowly make your way back to center. Lowering that right leg down, you can place your strap to the side. And you're going to hug your left knee in, beginning to rotate the ankle, wiggle the toes on this side. All of the pops on this side. Rotate that ankle the other way. Taking your strap around that left foot. Same thing on this side, so extending that foot up towards the ceiling, and you'll begin to pull back towards your face. Trying to keep your foot flexed here so that your heel is pointing up, toes are pointing back at you. You're ready, taking both sides of the strap into your left hand. Again, trying to keep that right hip pressed down as you let your left leg fall open. gaze over to the left. And slowly roll back to center. Lowering that left leg down, placing your strap to the side. You're gonna inhale and reach your arms way up overhead, legs out long, getting as long as you possibly can, pointing the toes, reaching with the fingertips. Take a giant breath in. And on your exhale, begin to roll up to a seated position. Maybe you use just your core to get there. If that's not happening, you can always plant the hands and press yourself up. So legs are gonna be out long in front of you. Inhale and reach the arms up overhead, creating as much length as you can. And then start to hinge at your hips, folding forward, reaching for your toes. If your toes are too far away here, you're gonna use your strap, hooking it around your feet and using that as leverage. And as you're here in the fold, I want you to think about inhaling to lengthen your spine, exhaling to fold just a little further. You can also have a slight bend in the knees here. Your legs do not have to stay completely straight. Feet are flexed. Taking a couple more breaths here. And slowly making your way back to a seated position. You're going to take your left foot and hug it in towards your right calf or thigh. So creating a tree pose on the ground. Again, inhale, lengthen those arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinge at the hips to fold forward. You can use the strap here as well. Again, we're inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to fold. Think about bringing your nose towards your knee. From here, we're going to drop that right elbow down on the inside of the thigh. Reach that left arm up towards the ceiling to twist open. And if it feels nice, you can begin to extend that top arm over your head towards your foot, stretching through the side body. We'll exhale back to center. Planting that left hand behind you, press into your hand and your shin to lift your hips towards the ceiling. Really squeezing those shoulder blades in towards the spine, opening the chest. Big breath in here. And exhale to lower down. Switching sides, so hugging the opposite foot in towards your calf or thigh. Inhaling to reach those arms up overhead. Exhaling to fold forward. Dropping that left elbow down, reach that right arm up, and maybe you extend it over your head towards your toes. Exhale back to center, planting that right hand behind you, lifting those hips towards the ceiling. Slowly lowering, bringing the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Find a butterfly pose. You can grab onto the ankles or the toes here. First, creating length in the spine, sitting up nice and tall. And then exhaling to fold forward. Bring your nose towards your feet. Thinking about actively pressing those knees open towards the ground. Exhaling back to seated. You can keep your legs like this, or you can come to a cross-leg position, really whatever Left hand comes on top of the head, right arm out long, beginning to rotate forward. And rotating that arm backwards. And bringing your chin to your chest. Interlace your hands at the back of your head, pressing down. You can stay here in stillness, or you can shift your gaze towards one arm and then the other. From here, you'll release your hands down to the mat. Look up at the ceiling. Let the head hang heavy. Relax the jaw. Maybe even let your mouth fall open. And you'll begin to make circles with your head all the way around. If you find a spot that feels really tense or tight, hang out there for an extra breath. And you can make those circles in the other direction. And come back to center. Plant those hands in front of you. Make your way into a tabletop, however you want to get there. Stacking those knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. We're going to start to roll through some cat-cow. So on your inhale, dropping your belly towards the floor, looking to the front of the room. Exhale to round the spine. Look at your belly button. And do that a few more times to your own breath. So inhaling to drop the belly. Exhaling to round the spine. One more. And coming back to a neutral spine, working on the core just a little bit. We're going to keep that cat-cow motion going, but we're going to add in a leg. So on your inhale, drop your belly, lift your right leg towards the ceiling. Exhale, round the spine, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Take 3 more of those on the right. And then once you've finished your 3 on the right, you can switch to that left leg. So again, we're lifting the leg, dropping the belly. Exhaling, rounding the spine, knee to nose. Taking 5 on the left. And bring those knees back down to the mat. Raising your right arm up towards the ceiling, open your chest. And thread the needle. Thread that right arm under your left shoulder, comes down to the mat. Maybe you walk your left hand forward. If you want a little more here, you can try taking a bind by wrapping your left arm around your back, resting it on your hip. Maybe you play with your balance and try lifting your left leg. Slowly lowering down that leg if it's lifted, coming back through center, reaching that right arm back up towards the ceiling. And switching sides. So left arm reaches up and threads underneath your right. Again, you can extend that hand forward or take a bind here. And exhaling back through center. Finish out the twist, reaching that left arm back up and planting the hands. We're going to come to a puppy pose. So you're going to keep the hips where they are. Begin to walk your hands out in front of you as far forward as they'll go. Your head can rest on your chin or your forehead. We want to think about letting the chest sink down towards the mat. Does not have to touch the mat. Just in that general direction, letting the shoulders open. Deep breaths here, feeling your back expand as you inhale, fall as you exhale. to shift forward, come to laying on your belly. Getting comfortable, then taking your arms out to a T, palms are face down. Trying to line up your wrists with your shoulders. We're gonna bend that right knee for broken wing pose, and you're gonna slowly cross that leg over your body to the left. So we're rolling onto that left shoulder. You can stay just like you are, or maybe you wrap that right arm around your back. If you're still wanting more here, you can try clasping the hands together and extending them both out long behind you. And you'll slowly unwind, coming back to center. Arms come back out to a T, bend that left knee, and slowly cross it over to the right. Option to take a bind, wrapping that arm around your back. And exhaling back to center. Beautiful. Bringing those hands in by your ribs. Setting up for a cobra pose. So shoelace sides of the feet are touching the mat. And on your inhale, you're going to lift your chest just a little, keeping those elbows bent. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lifting up. Maybe you lift 1 inch higher this time. Exhale, lower. Find an upward facing dog. So same motion, but this time we're going to start to straighten the arms, lifting the chest off the mat. Maybe you press so hard into the tops of your feet that your thighs lift off the ground. Big breath in. Exhale to a downward facing dog. Tucking the toes, create an upside down V shape with your body. Start to move here. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other. You can wiggle the hips from side to side. From here, we're going to step that right foot forward, come into a low lunge. So you can have your hands planted on the mat here, or you can bring them to blocks or whatever you might be using for blocks. We want to make sure that that right ankle is directly under the right knee. So you may have to scoot your foot forward just a little bit. We're going to start by dropping that left hand down to the mat or to a block. Reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. Twist your chest open. Exhale back to center. Planting those hands down, we're going to find a half split. So you're going to shift your hips back. Begin to straighten that right leg. Right foot is flexed, so toes come off the mat. You can stay right where you are if this feels like enough, or you can begin to hinge forward, folding over that right leg. And then we're going to create our own little flow here by shifting back and forth at your own pace between your low lunge and your half split. You're just working on waking up the hamstring and the calf. If you are practicing full splits, you can always take that, or whatever your full split looks like. If you're not quite there yet, you're just going to keep shifting back and forth. Maybe you're folding forward. Play with how far forward you can press the hips. You're going to make your way back to a lunge. We're going to find a lizard lunge. So you're going to bring your blocks or your hands to the inside of that right foot, walking your foot to the side of the mat. If this feels like enough, stay here. If you want more, begin to let that knee fall open, foot rolls to the blade edge. Maybe you drop down to the forearms, bringing them to blocks. Or you can lower your forearms all the way down to the mat. And then if you're still wanting more, you can come back up onto the hands and reach for that back foot, stretching out the quads. Taking at least 5 breaths here. Really breathing into the belly, into the hips. Take any movement that feels good. And we'll step that left foot forward for a low lunge on the left. So again, we're lining up the ankle under the knee. Hands can come down to blocks or to the mat. Lower your right hand down, reach your left arm up, twist your chest open. Exhale to center, planting those hands down and finding your half split on this side. One side may feel very different from the other. That is totally normal. And again, you're shifting back and forth at your own pace, trying to match your movement to your breath. Again, if full splits are in your practice or something you're working on, go for it. Awesome way to start working on full splits is to place a block under your hips, allowing them to sink down towards the mat. Slowly making your way back to your lunge. And we'll find that lizard lunge on the left. So hands come to the inside of your foot, walking that foot to the side of the mat. Again, maybe the foot rolls onto the blade edge. Maybe you come down to the forearms, or you can take the quad stretch, reaching for your back foot. Exhaling back to center, bringing weight back into those hands, walking your foot back to center, and pressing back for your downward dog. Taking a second to wiggle out the legs. And we're going to lift that right foot towards the ceiling. Bend the knee to open your hips, so you're going to kick yourself in the butt. You can take some circles here with the knee. Maybe you circle in the other direction. And then find a half pigeon on the right. So you're crossing that right shin over in front of you. You can keep the chest lifted, or you can fold forward. If mermaid is in your practice, you can also take that. And you're trying to allow the hips to relax here. If this is not working in your body at all, if you feel any pain in the knee, then you're going to take a reclined half pigeon instead by rolling onto your back, creating a figure four with your legs, crossing your right ankle over your left knee and hugging into center. So either variation. Slowly making your way back down, hands to the mat. We're going to drop all of our weight onto that right side and swing that left leg over your right. So coming into cow face pose. So you're trying to stack one knee on top of the other here. You can place a block in between your knees if you have a lot of space, or you can keep that left foot planted. So whatever this pose may look like for you, we're going to take that left hand between the shoulder blades. And then the right hand is going to reach up and around to meet it. If you have a lot of space between your hands, you can use that strap or a towel in between your hands. You're going to keep the chest nice and lifted here. Take a deep breath in. And then if you want more, you can begin to fold forward. Exhale back to seated. Releasing your hands down to the mat. You have two options. You can either just switch your legs, or you can plant your left hand in front of you, right hand behind you, press up onto your feet and spin around all the way in a circle until you land with your legs in the reverse direction. So again, we can take a block reaches up and around to meet it. Maybe the chest stays lifted, or you can start to fold forward. And exhaling back to seated. Unwinding your hands. Take that right leg, swing it back behind you for your half pigeon on the left. So left shin is crossed over in front of you. Again, you can keep the chest lifted, or you can fold forward. If you have a lot of space between your hip and the mat, you can also slide a block or a blanket underneath that space so you have a little extra support here. And staying where you are for at least 5 breaths. Bring weight back to the hands. Tucking those back toes, lifting up to your downward facing dog. And move in any way that feels good here, letting the hips relax. Begin to tiptoe your feet forward until you're seated on the mat. Bending those knees, rolling onto your back for a supported bridge pose. We're gonna lay on our back. You're gonna take a block with you. Again, you can use a blanket here or a pillow. We're gonna lift the hips up, slide that block underneath your hips. So it can be on its side or flat. You want it to be about where your tail, or just above your tailbone, about where your pant line would start. You're gonna release your low back down onto that block. You can keep the knees bent here, or you can straighten the legs out long. You can also bring the arms up overhead, really letting the hips and glutes relax. Breathing into your belly, let it rise on your inhale, fall on your exhale. Bending the knees, pressing into the feet to lift the hips, remove that block out from underneath you. Hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a big squeeze. Maybe you rock from side to side a little, giving yourself a little low back massage. And keeping the knees bent, we're gonna cross that right knee over your left. So making eagle legs on the ground. Take the arms out to a T. And you're gonna let both legs fall to the left. So twisting through your spine. Try to keep those shoulders pressed down towards the mat. Send your gaze over to the right if that's comfortable. Exhale back to center. And then you'll cross the opposite leg over top, so left knee over your right, letting those legs fall to the right. Exhaling back to the middle. Giving yourself one more big hug, pulling your forehead up towards your knees, curling up into a tight little ball. Tense up every single muscle in your body. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. Let your legs fall out long onto the mat. Arms fall down by your sides. Preparing for your final pose, your Shavasana. Getting as comfortable as you can. Scanning from the tips of your toes all the way to the crown of your head. See if there's any tension left in your body that you can let go of. Take one last deep breath in. Open your mouth, exhale out. today. Namaste.